Hi, my name is Diana, the Dummy Cook, and today we're going to do a Cookidoo class for beginners. Yes, I'm going to show you how to use the app, how to browse, find recipes, fix your filters. We're going to schedule the whole week with recipes. I'm even going to show you how to do the shopping list by aisles in the supermarket. Not only that, the app can also order the ingredients for you if that's what you like. I'm going to show you how to create your own folders of favorites and much more while we still keep it basic. After all, this is a class for newbies, so we want to keep it light and fun. I will be answering frequently asked questions at the end, so please stay with me and let's learn together. So, before we get started, you might not have Cookidoo yet. If you want to get an account, just go to cookidoo.us. Yes, go to the website first. Please trust me. Once you're in the website, create an account. Once you have that account and that password set up, that's when you can go to the app and you can log in with your email and password. Now you have a free account for a month. The App Store was not trying to charge you. It's all good. Later on, if you end up getting a Thermomix, you're going to have this pop-up saying you have 3 more months for free. At that moment, you'll be able to click here, add a credit card to your account, which won't be charged yet, and you will get these 3 months. I will answer more questions about how much Cookidoo is needed or not at the end. Okay, so now you have Cookidoo and I do too. Here is the homepage. You see that we have here For You, and let me show you actually all the buttons around, okay, the navigation. Here's For You. Here we have Explore. Then we have My Recipes, we have My Week, and we have the shopping cart. Let's go back to the beginning, For You. And you always see at the top, you see here a little circle with a chef hat, or you can put your picture like I did. And here you can see your information, membership, devices, and all of that. Okay, that is a little bit more advanced. We're not gonna do that today. Now, the page For You. This one is going to be like topics, suggestions. You can look around. Like if I look today, I'll be like, okay, everyday recipes for you. Or they want to talk to me about plant-based cooking. Great. Carb-conscious cooking. Alrighty, and I could just browse like this. Things that are trending or topics for me, because based on my choices, they're giving me suggestions over here. All right, so that is just the For You page. I don't use it that much because most of the time I go straight to the magnifying glass, Explore, and here I like to make a search. Now, I could make a search by a recipe, let's say shepherd's pie. This is a very specific recipe, right? Shepherd's pie. And when I do that, I get 11 results. Why? Because how many ways you're gonna do a shepherd's pie, right? Still, I get a lot. You see here that I have the 3-bean option. I have here a vegetarian one, a southwestern one, and I get here a curry one. So that's pretty interesting. I had 11 results with some variety. Now, that was a specific recipe. Let's go and search for an ingredient. And I always tell people, if you open your fridge and you have a lot of something that if you don't use it, is going to go bad, right? Let's see. I will say that maybe I want to look for zucchini, right? So I'm looking for zucchini, make a search, 740 results just on zucchini. And I get a lot of great ideas. Well, we started with sweets, not what I was expecting, but here we have, okay, lemon caper salmon with probably zucchini. Here we have spiralized zucchini, wild mushroom ragu with zucchini. So zucchini soup, I love this one. Okay, so we're going to go into that recipe and we're going to see the recipe card. Here we have the rating. Follow the rating because obviously here we have 4.7 and that is the result of 514 people liking this recipe. So that's great. But that doesn't always mean something because if a recipe is new, it might not have that many people having an opinion. Anyway, I like to try all the recipes regardless of the rating, unless I see one that is 2.5 and like, a lot of people, then that's different. But that doesn't usually happen anyway. Okay, here we have that this recipe is going to take 10 minutes of your time and 25 minutes total. Why? Because you're gonna be involved with the recipe maybe 3 minutes and then you're gonna go away and maybe you'll come back again for another 3 minutes. So your time will be 10 and 25 minutes will be until you're eating. And here we have 4 portions. Now in this recipe, it doesn't let me adjust the portions. You see, adjust serving size, and if I click it, it says make it your own or not, like you're on your own. If you wanna have it in your head, you can, but they didn't prepare one. I'm going to show you later an option where the portions are there, okay? Alrighty, then we have here the ingredients, perfect. And you can see here that they're in grams. It depends on the recipe. This might be Australian or from the UK, and that's why it's in grams, but you will find a lot of recipes that are in ounces. And then here we have the preparation steps. So you see, You don't need to read the preparation steps, but I like to see what's expected of me. So I look here and I go, okay, there's gonna be chopping for 3 seconds, then there's going to be a step of 15 minutes when it's cooking, and then a 1 minute blending. Okay, this is very doable. I can do that in the time that I have today. Because what if it was saying, hey, you need to leave this overnight in the fridge and do it tomorrow, right? I need to know what's expected or how long we're gonna take or how involved I am going to be. Some recipes you put a few ingredients and go, and some recipes you have to be here much longer. There are more than 100,000 recipes, so there are all kinds of recipes to choose from. Easy, more difficult, short, longer. Okay? All right. We're always going to see here tips, which are very interesting. It's good to read them. You have here a space for your notes, which is a new feature that we've been asking forever. I'm super happy that we have it. If you have a TM7, you can add your notes in the screen. If you have a TM6 or older, you can add it in your Cookidoo account on the phone or in your computer, and they will show up here. We have the difficulty, the nutrition, in which country this recipe was created, Australia, I was right, and some keywords to find similar dishes. Low carb, low fat, vegetarian. Okay, that's great. Here we have collections where that recipe is in, and also we have suggestions based, if you like this, you might like that. So that is the recipe card. And what can we do from here? We can do a lot of things, but right now I'm just gonna show you two. One very big one, right, obviously, is the one that says cook today. If you click that button, it's going to go to your calendar to today's date. And the good thing about that is that when you come here to the homepage, that recipe is going to be waiting for you here. So it's a perfect way to start your recipes. You schedule them, come to your Thermomix, and because you chose cook today, the recipe is waiting for you here to just click and get started. Another thing that we can do here is click add to my week. And instead of today, I could have chosen tomorrow. Click save, and here we are. Well, let's look for a few more recipes. Let's add them to the calendar, and that way I can show you your amazing calendar. In this case, we're going to write pasta, for example. Make a search, and I have 6,492 results on pasta. Well, I speak Spanish, I have my settings in Spanish and English, and pasta is the same word on both. So I'm going to go to my filters and I can just take Spanish out of the way, you see, here. And now I have 3,323 results, which is still amazing, right? So now I'm going to go and choose one of these pasta recipes, which look, you can just boil pasta or you can do a pasta dough from scratch. I love that. Let's choose this creamy chicken and sun-dried tomato pasta. I love that recipe. And here we do see the portion option. You see, when we are in the default 4 portions, the onion is going to be 70 grams. And when I click 2, now we are at 40 grams. Now, why I keep finding grams, I don't know. Let me add this to my calendar. Let's see, to my calendar on Thursday. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to find a recipe made in the US. Let's go for this smoked salmon lemon pasta. And here we have ounces. 40 ounces of water, 3 ounces of olive oil, perfect. And obviously we have Fahrenheit as well. See, once again, everything that is in bold is the step that is in the Thermomix. So here we are 8 minutes heating up, then we're going to be boiling the pasta, then we're going to be chopping something because we're going to make the sauce, and chopping again, then we're going to saute for 3 minutes, and then we're going to cook for 1 minute. So you see, this recipe is a little bit more involved, but I love it. Let's add it to my week, and I'm going to put it on Friday. There we go. Okay, so you get the gist. Now you know how to explore, how to look for recipes. And again, remember, you can look for a recipe or you can look for the ingredient. The good thing about the ingredient is you're going to be able to use up everything you have in that fridge. So you're going to be saving money because out of one item that you look for, you're going to have hundreds of things to do with that item. Now we're going to skip the button in the middle, which is my recipes. I'll show you that later. Let's go to the calendar because I really want you to see what we just did together. See, here in the calendar, I have the zucchini soup for today because I clicked cook today, but I also have it for tomorrow because I said the second time around I want to also make it tomorrow. So there it is. And then we added the creamy chicken on Thursday, and what else do we have here? The smoked salmon pasta that we added it for Friday, plus the things that I had already added myself. So here we have a pretty nice week. Okay, so this is beautiful, right? You can plan your whole week on a Sunday. You're sitting in your couch on your phone, or while you're waiting, I don't know, at a doctor's office and you're bored, you can go and decide this is what I'm going to make each day. It's really, really fun to look for the recipes and plan them. And now we're going to do the annoying part of cooking, which is the shopping. So we're going to say zucchini soup, add to my shopping list. Red pesto chicken that I had here, add to your shopping list. Spinach artichoke dip, add to the shopping list. And the chicken pasta as well. And we're going to click on this one as well, add to shopping list. And why not the battered chicken as well? Okay, so we added all of that to our shopping list and we're going to click on that button. Wait a second and voila, here we are. We have all the items that are needed to cook this. Now, because we were choosing recipes that were in grams and in ounces, you can see here that they're separated. So you see, we need water in grams and we need water in ounces. If you had chosen recipes that were just one of the measurements, then it would have been added up to the same line, okay? But before you leave the house, you're going to go, well, I already have water, right? So take it off. And let's say that I have lemon juice. And in this case, it didn't add up, not only because of the grams, but also because of the name. Pasta and penne pasta. It didn't add up, so it's fine, right? Let's say that I do have penne pasta and I want to see what this pasta is talking about. So what I can do is click up here by recipes and see what we're talking about. I'm like, oh, what is that for? Oh, for the creamy chicken, or is it for this other one? Let's see. So you can look around and be like, oh, it's for the smoked salmon lemon pasta. That looks like spaghetti. Okay, then it's regular spaghetti pasta. Okay, let me go back to the category. Why am I doing it by category? Because I have it by aisles in the supermarket. If you look at the end, you'll see that all of these are the veggies. And here we have all the condiments and spices. And here we have the preserved products, etc. And everything that you say you already have is going to go here to the bottom, right? So if I say I have zucchini, it goes to the bottom. If I have baby potatoes, it goes to the bottom. One more thing, you can always add something new. You see the plus sign here? Click on it and let's say that you need paper towel. So you say, all right, paper towel, add it, and it's going to go to the bottom of the list. Let me show you right here. You can do that during the week, actually. You don't have to wait until you have all the ingredients. You can start adding things as they're running out in your kitchen, and anyone in your family can do that. I can have Cookidoo on my phone, in my computer, my husband's phone, my kids, everybody can have Cookidoo, and we can just keep adding things there. Just have a system, obviously. So let's say that I already got at home and I said, all right, you know what? I have mozzarella cheese, cream cheese, but I don't have sour cream, blah, blah, blah. What I can do right now, I can do three things. If I'm on a desktop, I can print this on paper and go old school to the supermarket with my pencil, or I can go to the supermarket with my phone and I can just check off everything that I put in my shopping cart. Or for the people that like to order online, I like to make sure that the avocado is soft, but if that's what you like, then you can click up here and click order ingredients, and by zip code, it's going to give you the options of the supermarkets around you that are connected to Cookidoo, obviously. So here I have my options and I'm going to say, you know what, I want Instacart. Now I'm going to go to Instacart, I'm leaving Cookidoo, and it's going to load the cart for me. Once again, because we had grams and ounces, the tomato can show up twice, right? You still have to double check the list a little bit, but it is doing a lot of the work for you. Look at this amazing shopping cart ready for me. You see here, the brown onion twice. You can just leave it like that, or you can just change the quantity in one of them and not in the other. But pretty amazing, right? This is what I want to hear. Wow. If we're at the demo, I always show this thing. Even though I don't use it that much, I love showing it because, oh my goodness, is the future of cooking. Totally. Anyway, so now I'm going to go back, and the last thing I want to show you on Cookidoo is the button in the middle that says My Recipes. So here you have bookmarks, you have collections, you have all the folders that you want to create here. For example, my style is to create one folder for every type of food that I have already cooked and that I love, which is 90% of the time. The other 10 I'll be like, yeah, it was good, but you know, nothing to call home about. I wouldn't repeat that one. I want to keep trying new things. So if I have people over and I want to make a dip, I just click here and I know that all of these dips are approved by Diana and my guests and my family. So I could be making any of these recipes, right? Now, if I get out of here and I say, today I want to make something with chicken, then I come here, and I do speak Spanish and English, so you will have recipes in both languages, right? But here I am giving you a preview of how my folders look like. So these are chicken recipes that I have loved and I added them right here. And let's say that we are at a party and I have drinks. What are my drinks here? Okay, drinks, regular or alcoholic. And I go, I want to make a margarita. Here we go. Or it's a party with kids and I want to make something cute for them. Then I have here all the slushies, right? Something with egg or potato. I have my folders here. And Again, I'm from Spain, so let me show you. I'm very proud of this folder. It's made in Spain. Whenever I feel like making something from Spain, then I come here and I go, gazpacho, paella, pulpo, almejas a la marinera, croquetas, gambas al ajillo, etc. By the way, if you liked any of those things that I just said, that means that you might speak Spanish. I have the Dummy Cook en Español, a different channel, so if you want to follow that one, you can do that too. So here we have a lot of items from Spain and so on. You can also create one, for example, your picky kid, right? You have a picky eater, then put their name on the folder and put all the things that that kid likes to eat, or maybe things that you like to send to school, or maybe for your meal prepping for work. I don't know, whatever you want to create in your folders, this is an amazing way to do it. Now, everyone has a default folder that is called bookmarks. It only fits 500 recipes. I already broke it. I have 500 recipes here. This is every time someone says, hey Diana, you need to try this, I click the bookmark sign, which in any recipe is up here on the top. And when you click on that, you see now, right now I unclicked it. I'm going to click it again. You're just adding that recipe to your bookmarks. And the cool thing is then later you come here and you're like, oh, these are all the things that I have pending to do. In my case, because I already reached 500, I had to create a folder that says bookmarks next and bookmarks suite. And I already have 237 in one and 179 in the other. That tells you what a fan of Thermomix I am and how many new recipes I'm trying. It is really magical. So if you have a Thermomix, if you just started using Thermomix, my thing will be challenge yourself to get 3, 4, 5 new recipes every week. Don't just get stuck in 3 and make them again. I mean, it is amazing even for that, but why would you do that? Go to India, go to Korea, go to Italy, go to Mexico. It's amazing. Okay, so that was the tour, and now let's get into the Q&A. For example, what is the best way to choose a recipe? So you saw how I was talking about today, that I always say, cook today, and then it goes into my Thermomix, right? It's waiting for me here in the homepage right here. Now, if instead of cook today, I put it in the calendar, like I said before, let's say I put it on Wednesday when I come to cook, it's going to be here again because it's going to be today. So that is my preferred way of choosing a recipe. Now, mind you, when you come here in the homepage, you only can fit 2. So if you have more for that day, I will go to my week. You can put the button here in your homepage as well. You can choose what buttons do you use the most. And here you will have the whole calendar view. So for example, you see on Thursday, I think I have 3 recipes. Yeah, I will be able to scroll down and choose the 3rd one, which I couldn't do from the homepage because I only can see 2, right? So here we will go. All right, so that is one way to choose recipes. The other way, you also we have a new feature with the Bluetooth that you can just say send to Thermomix and it will go right there. So that's another option. That is for TM7. And then we have 2 more ways. One of them will be going to your folders. Here in your folders, you have recently cooked. So let's say that I did this recipe a few days ago. I can just come here and click on it and just cook it, which I can do without Wi-Fi. Alrighty, so if I cooked something here and then I went to my neighbors or to my friends or whatever with my Thermomix because I wanted to do that, and I realized, oh my gosh, you don't know your Wi-Fi password? Well, it's okay. This recipe, I did it a few days ago. Let me go and look for it and it will be here in recently cooked. Okay, so that's a way to choose a recipe and you don't need your Wi-Fi connection or even Cookidoo. Then we can also go to my bookmarks collection. So the same collection I show you in the phone is waiting for me here. So do you want to put the next recipe in bookmarks and then just cook it from here? You can do that too. Or you can go to my recipe lists, which are all the folders that I have that I showed you before, right? I can just come here and say, like I said before, let me go to the dips. I can click here and then choose the guacamole, the spinach dip. This one, I love this one, the whipped and mascarpone, what is the name? With chili sesame honey. So fancy. Anyway, you can do that. Or also from the folders, you can go to your collections or created recipes. We'll talk about that in a second. Alrighty, so we had the cook today and the calendar. We had the folders, right? And all those collections. Or you can click the magnifying glass and you can make a search right now. So the same way that we were making searches before, I can come here and write something easy from here. All right, I'm going to say rice. Search, always click on the magnifying glass. And then here we go. And I have, 3020 recipes on rice alone. Alrighty, so here I can start making the search from scratch. Let's say that you watched the video and I said what was the title of the recipe. You can just write it here, okay? When you make searches by title, try to look by keywords. The more words you put in, the more you're constraining that search. Okay, so try to just put the most important keyword and then go from there. Maybe you'll need a second keyword if you get too many options, okay? But if I'm looking for tomato cream with apple, and instead of with is of apple, then you wouldn't be getting it, right? So I will just say tomato cream, apple, right? Which again, I made this up completely. There's not such recipe. It's just for the sake of the explanation. All right, so that is one way of finding recipes to use on your Thermomix. Second question, language choice. Can I change it to my language? Okay, so when you start your account, it's always going to default to English and it's going to default to being in the US. Now, the Cookidoo account, I always keep it like that, keep it in English. But what you're changing is that in the filters, you can add English and Spanish or French or German or whatever other language you want to add, or maybe you just want the other language. And then you will have results in those languages. So let's say that I have this bread in German. Once I choose that recipe and I say cook now, that recipe is going to be in German for the whole duration of the recipe. And then as soon as I'm done, I'm going to go back to English with all my buttons, right? The search and the explore, all of that in English. Make sense? Okay. Metric or imperial? This is a very similar question, right? We have in Thermomix, in your unit, you can change here in the settings. You can come here and go to skills and cooking, and you can choose imperial or metric. That is for your unit. So for example, if I say that I want imperial right now, right? And then I go back to my homepage, when I go to do something manual, let's say manual mode, right? My manual mode is going to be in imperial because my unit is in imperial, all right? You see Fahrenheit right there, you see? 212 Fahrenheit, which is the same as 100 Celsius boiling point. Now, even if I choose that in my unit, I go to Cookidoo and I choose a recipe that was made in Australia, then that recipe is going to be in English, but it's going to be Celsius. And for the duration of the recipe, you're going to be seeing grams and Celsius. If instead I choose a recipe made in the US, then I will see ounces and Fahrenheit. So you're only changing before the language and now the measuring system when you're choosing your recipe to cook. Your unit is in whatever you chose from the beginning. Make sense as well? Awesome. Another typical question, how many devices can I have with Cookidoo? One Cookidoo account, as of the time that I'm recording this video in January 2026, one Cookidoo account can be attached to 5 different Thermomixes. Now, I don't like doing that. For example, my kids have Thermomix in college. I don't share the Cookidoo account because I want to have my own calendar, my own cook today, my own folders. I don't want them to change that. So each one of us have their own Cookidoo account. But I do own a few Thermomixes in my home, and those Thermomixes are all in my account because I can add up to 5. Maybe you have your home and your holiday home. That will be already 2 units to 1 account, right? Now, that is different to where you can see Cookidoo from. Cookidoo you can see from everywhere. You can see it on desktop on the website, and I love to do that from my desk because the screen is much bigger and I can search really comfortable in my chair. Obviously, you can do it on your phone, and like I said before, everyone in the family can do that. Husband can be doing it from work, and you can do it from work, or the kids from class. Not from class, don't get online in class. But what I'm saying is, if anyone from the family wanted to see what we're going to be eating today, they can all go open the app and look it up. Next question, filters. Now, this one is a big one in many ways. So for example, you see when we looked for rice, here we have a lot of options. I could have chosen, because rice, right, 3,000 options, that's too many. But I could have said that are in a soup. And let's see what I get now. Now I'm getting 163 options. Not bad at all, right? Now I can go again and say, no, you know what? Let's not do soups, let's do main dishes. And with meat. And now I have 656 results. So you can filter and constrain your searches a lot. For example, now I'm going to go by time. I want the preparation time to be less than 15 minutes and the total time less than 30. Because again, I'm making rice. I'm not gonna make it in 5 minutes for sure, right? So total time until I'm eating less than 30, my time 15, and now I have 55 results. And I think that I was also looking at main dishes meat. I can get this one out and say now every single category, and now I go back to 785. So play with the filters. They're really, really helpful. You can look by portions, things that are 4 portions, and see what we get. You can reset all those filters. One more thing on the filters, I don't want to go too advanced, but if you click here, you can add words that you want to add or exclude. So let's say that you want a recipe with rice and zucchini and blue cheese, I don't know, or that you want a recipe that is a soup but doesn't have milk, because you cannot have it. These are the filters that you need to use for that. All right, so play with it. It's really interesting. Okay, and now something really important still related to filters. When you open a Cookidoo account, the country of origin is going to default to the country you're in. So for example, I'm in the US and the country of origin is going to show up as US by default. And my recommendation is that you remove this. Why? Because you're only going to see recipes made in the US. Now, if you wanted everything in ounces and in Fahrenheit and you didn't want to go to any other country, then sure, keep it that way and you will not have to deal with the grams and the Celsius and all that. But if you want to see what was made in English in Italy, or in English in Greece, or in Mexico, or in China, which is a lot and very, very interesting, then I will say change the default filters to this, and I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, if you don't want to do this as a default, you can do it in every single time that you make a search. You can change the filters for that one search. But now when we change the filters as default filters, we're gonna change our preference forever. Let me show you how to do that. So here you go, and in the home page, on the top right, you see a chef's hat, or if you added your picture, you're gonna see your picture there. Click on it. I have to update my picture, and click on my preferences. And here, go all the way to the bottom. A lot of people always want to read everything for me. I'm like, no, go to the bottom. And here you see that in language, I have Spanish and English, because I speak both, and country of region, all. And that is my advice, okay? Choose the language that you speak and country of origin, all. Most likely, right now, what you have is all and US, okay? So click update filter. And again, on the language, chances are that when you started, you didn't have any of them chosen. So in my case, I'm going to choose English and I'm going to choose Spanish. Why? Because I don't speak any other. So if you give me all and you show me things in German, I'm not gonna understand it, right? So those are the language I want to choose. But now in country of region, chances are this is what you had chosen. And all you need to do is check it off. Do not choose US and click save. Now you can see recipes from all over the world. Now, one little trick. After you do that and it says update filter, you're still in the same page, right? You need to go back and you need to close the app completely. You know how sometimes the apps are sleeping behind? You need to say close completely. And then that's when it's going to take effect. And the way to check this is, let's say that you were looking for a recipe that was, I don't know, like some Italian typical recipe, and it was not coming up, and you're like, why? My friend has it, or I saw it in a video. Then you come and do this thing that I just told you, then search again and you will find it. Or the best way to know that you did that, look, I'm going to actually do this for you. If I make a search right now in my magnifying glass and I search empty, okay, in Spanish and in English, everything here, 27,343. I didn't choose any words. I'm just looking for the whole database for me in English and Spanish without any filters, right? It's just English and Spanish, 27,000. Now, let me go back and let me do what I just told you to do. I'm going to go to my name, and here I'm going to say my preferences, update filter. I'm going to remove the languages, which is the default, how you will see it. And I'm going to choose United States. This is how it comes automatically by default. All languages, United States only. So let me close this again completely, go back again, open the app, and now I'm going to make a search empty, no words, and I'm going to get 3,035 results. That's it. So, like I said, my tip is going to open up a lot of recipes for you. If you want to leave all the languages open, go ahead and do that. But in the country of region, definitely I will just leave them all empty. Alrighty, I only have 2 more questions left, but maybe you have a lot of questions and you can put them in the comments. I hope that you do that. One of the questions that I get all the time is, can you create your own recipes? Absolutely, you can. And when you're here, you see that I didn't go all the way to the options that you had here in your folders. You had recently cooked, bookmarks, and at the end it says created recipes. If you click there, those are my created recipes. Now, that is an advanced class. I actually did one of those like 3.5 years ago. I want to redo that class again. But while I do or not, if you want to check it out, it's right here. It's Cookidoo 3.0. And that will teach you the many ways of creating your own recipe. Because yes, you can have grandma's recipe and you want your whole family to be able to do it, so you can create it here in Thermomix. But I don't want to talk about that today because it was supposed to be a beginner's class and I'm adding a lot of tips in here. Also, because I always tell people that they need to use Thermomix at least 2-3 weeks, 1 month to see how it works, to see the language, to understand the patterns. And then once you do that, then you can convert anything to the Thermomix language. And by the way, ChatGPT does that for you as well. But again, I will use the guided recipes first, then I will play with the manual cooking, and once you dominate both, that's when I will save your own recipes. And the last question I'm going to answer on this video that it comes all the time. Do I need Cookidoo? Do I need to be paying for it? Like I said, Cookidoo is 1 month for free just for opening an account. When you get a Thermomix, you add 3 more months, so you get 4 for free, right? What is the price after? It's $65 per year. I totally recommend it. I love doing guided recipes, but I do know that a lot of people don't like to have a subscription and they ask, do I need Cookidoo? The answer is no. It is very convenient, but no, you don't. First of all, if you're using your Thermomix for 4 months with Cookidoo and you use the guided recipes and you get used to it and you learn the language, like we said, then chances are you're going to be able to do a lot of things manually. Second, when you come here and you go to recently cooked, the last 100 recently cooked recipes that you did with your unit here, right? The last 100, those are going to be saved here. You will need to do like a weird software update or something to lose those. Chances are you will have those 100 recipes in there saved for you, even if you didn't have Cookidoo. Like we said before, right? You don't have Wi-Fi, you go to a friend's house and you can still use them. Also, every TM7 comes with 200 recipes already saved for you, the basic ones. So you will have something to do anyway. Then you have all the recipes that are posted online that you can follow manually. You can come here to the modes, you can go to the manual mode, and here you can choose the time, the temperature, and the speed that you want, and all you have to do is play and start cooking. So if I was looking at a recipe online and I was just following those instructions, I could just put them here and do everything manually. I love having Cookidoo. I always say it's like having a TV and not having Netflix, but to each their own. The reality is that Thermomix was used for more than 40 years with just the time, the temperature, and the speed, because the older Thermomixes had those 3 dials and people had the books and they had to put it manually and they were super happy for years and years and years. We've been having Thermomixes with a screen since 2014, but Thermomix came in 1971. So like I said, yes, you can use a Thermomix without Cookidoo, but I love having it. And I think $65 a year, which again, January 26 is when I'm saying this, it could change any moment, right? But for $65 a year, I think it's peanuts. They're constantly adding recipes. Those recipes are added by chefs. It's not the community. The recipes that you can create, no one else is going to see. Those are for you, or you can share them with a friend if you choose to do so, but they're not gonna show up in someone else's Cookidoo. The 100,000 plus recipes that we have in the platform are made by chefs in every country, tested recipes, and they're tested over and over again. That's why they're so good. All right, I hope that this helped you. If you have a consultant, give them a call, ask them more questions, talk about recipes. They are there to help you. If you bought your Thermomix through their link, that's what they're there for, to help you through your journey, to teach you how to use your Thermomix, to talk about recipes, your personal preferences, etc. If I'm your consultant, then obviously the same thing. Please email me right here. Or if you didn't get the Thermomix yet, my link is in the comments, but ask me questions. What are the recipes you want to do? What are your special needs recipe-wise? Put it in the comments, email me, whichever way. I hope that you reach out to your consultant or to me. We are here to help you. All right. What is the first recipe you're going to make? Put it in the comments. Thank you so much.